Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
We have arrived, everybody. We are OVA'd out.
I'm a little sad. I feel like it's coming to an end. Although I do get to watch the movies now, so I'm excited about that.
Exactly. We have hit every single drop of extra content we know about up to this point. So we are back to the main storyline. Karasuno going to nationals. Today we're watching season 4, can you believe it? Episode 1 of Haikyuu called Introductions.
You know, I don't know whether, my instinct is that we're gonna meet all the teams in the tournament, like some sort of pre-tournament banquet or something along those lines. I wasn't sure whether we were gonna get a little bit of training before we went, see what happens in between them qualifying and the nationals, but Introductions makes me think that we're gonna just see them there, ready to go. So, we'll see.
We will see.
I know everybody else already knows.
You guys, if you watched my first time through, you know how I feel, you know what's coming. So let's not keep our boy Adam waiting any longer. He has been begging for season 4 since season 3 ended, and I said, hold up.
We gotta watch all the fillers.
Time for the OVAs. Hey, there were some good ones. You might also realize that I'm wearing a pickleball shirt today. Not a volleyball shirt. Did you see Adam's face? We played our first ever pickleball tournament together, and let me tell you, I'm shocked that he hasn't divorced me because I was a menace.
I thought when Sarah retired from professional sports that maybe a small amount of her competitiveness would have like mellowed, but it did not. I will leave it at that.
I will say that I also thought that my competitiveness was behind me. Nope. Still there. Only this time, guess who it's directed at? So, he kept me around after that display. So, yeah, if you're wondering, we're beginners. We signed up for a tough division. It didn't go well.
Gotta start somewhere.
We had fun. That's what we're saying.
We did have
Can
fun.
you see me, like, my eye twitching?
I had fun.
Turkey tournament. Anyway, okay, here we go. Season 4, episode 1 of Haikyuu is coming right now.
I feel you. That's cool. Add a few inches.
Get that height. Wear those shoes.
最高到達点で勝負だ。望むところですよ、影山くん。何かかけてもいいんですよ。カレーマン3個。乗った。俺はイノシシを殺した男だ。大丈夫なんだろうか。
Oh, yes.
大切に使わせていただきます。
Oh, that's gonna chill Kageyama.
何やってるっていうか。チェス。どうよ。OB 会の実家にかけると4回に1回お見合い進められるんだけど。あで、例の動画の件だけど。やってもらえるか？可愛い後輩のためだ。一肌脱ぐぜ。
Aww.
I love them all.
どうぞやってください。お、ひなたどうだった？ 164.2 センチ 1.4 センチ増。おお、すっげえじゃん。山口は5ミリ増 180.0 センチ。180超え。影山は181.9。おお、伸びてる。勝った。どこがだ。俺の方が1ミリ多く伸びた。つうかひなたはみんなの身長を覚えてんのかよ。こういう計算は早いの。
When I thought they were talking about who touched higher, I didn't think they meant height. I thought they meant actual spike touch.
No, they did. Remember at the very end of season 3, the bonus scene? They were measuring spike touch.
Okay, I thought
So
here...
I think that's probably going to tie in.
Okay.
But for a pamphlet, you need height too.
No, I get that, but I just thought it was funny that they were comparing who grew more. I didn't think it was going to get to that level. I thought it was just going to be pure athleticism.
No, everything is a competition between Hinata and Kageyama. Come on.
This, I understand that, just this was slightly over the top.
If this is the most unexpected thing to happen today.
えのな、ひなたはどんぐりの背比べ。お疲れ様。月島貴様。月、まさか。すげえ月、とうとう190超え。縮め月島。
身長測定ってあんな盛り上がるんだ。お前ら騒ぐな。
武田先生、お電話です。外線に。
はい、お電話変わりました。武田です。はい。あ、はい、お世話になっております。はい、はい。え
？There we go.
月島くん334センチ。
おお、今んとこの最高じゃねえか。
さすがツッキー。
何やってんのあいつら。春高のパンフ用にスパイクの最高到達点測ってんだと。
次。
さすが全国。俺より飛んでんだけど。西野屋って身長150くらいだよな。
160だこれ。
The spiky teeth.
次。影山。
行きます。
337センチ。
今んとこ影山がトップか。
で、残すはあと1人。
次。ひなた。
はい。
みんなのひなたのライバル視がすごい。
待ってろよ。
333センチ。
朝日、ほぼ一緒じゃん。くそ、負けね
あいつ
This is so typical.
I was just gonna say, people who haven't done this probably think this is ridiculous. I'm telling you, this is 100% accurate. I am having flashbacks to doing standing jump, spike jump, running tests. We used to have to do the beep test,
Oh yeah.
and there are just, I personally love testing.
Adam probably barfed because he's a barfer. When he overexerts himself in any fitness activity, he throws up.
I like to think I'm tough enough to push myself past the point
Or
of...
insane enough, either way. Or just in bad shape. I personally have never barfed working out.
means you haven't worked hard enough.
Wow.
But this team environment is spot on. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to compete. We're talking about fractions of inches you're marking by just to see. And it doesn't actually matter how high you touch. It just matters that you're higher than the next guy. That's all that matters. And I think it's a great atmosphere for a team.
It's not quite so overt with girls. I was the psycho who had to win absolutely every test. So I can relate to this, but did I vocalize it? No, because that would have been
But guys,
unacceptable.
guys chirp the whole time you're testing. It's actually a lot of fun.
6センチをアップしてるな。やっぱ常に上に飛んでるやつは違うぜ。上って。影山が日向のバネを多少なりとも伸ばしてるってことか。
塩分ヨーグル1週間分。乗った。みんないる。
集合。
Takeda needs to do some physical exertion.
Ran from the staff room.
みんなお疲れ様。早速ですがビッグニュースです。影山くん、君に全日本ユース強化合宿の招集がかかりました。
Good for him.
日本。
ジャパン。
すげえ。
ユースというのは19歳以下の日本代表でしたよね。すごいね。なんかすごいとしか言えない。
牛若と一緒じゃん。
牛若は最終的な代表まで残ってたわけで、
すっげえ。
王様がそこまで残れるかは分かんないでしょ。
確か今招集されるメンバーの中から2年後に実際にユースの代表として戦う選手が選ばれるんだよね。世界を相手に。その2年後に向けて日本中の15、16歳の選手たちの中から一握りの有望株が招集される。
いや、
Are these volleyball guys or basketball guys?
すげえよ。俺らやっぱ
I think
やば
that's
いやつと練習してたんだ
Inoshita
ね。
is
バーサス世界ですよ。
the middle.
すげえ違うわ。
Just getting a thing.
ただ合宿は12月頭の5日間で1月の春高直前になりますので強制ではありません。先方から
行くべきでしょう。
Attaboy,
だって
Daichi.
日本のトップが集まるところですよ。それに俺たちの性質上今さら守りに入ってもしょうがない。
俺は
全日本だよ。全日本。19歳以下の日本代表。分かってんの？
分かってるよ。
お声がかかっているのは影山くんだけですね。
影山、今後インタビュー受けるときは菅原先輩という素晴らしい先輩に学びましたって言うんだぞ。
はあ、すり込むなよ。
菅さん、抜け駆けずりっすよ。
正直西野屋は呼ばれてもおかしくないと思うんだけどな。
それな。まあ親バカ的視点もあるけども、
こういうのって実力とか伸びしろはもちろんだけど全体のバランスとかも考えられてるらしいからな。ほぼ初対面が集まるからまとめ上手なやつとかさ、リベロとかはまあその大人げのあるやつとかが呼ばれたりすんのかなって。
ああ、大人げ。
グーの根も出ない。
はい、聞いて。
What did the general fan think about that selection? Do you have a feel?
I remember when I first watched this, I kind of questioned the fact that he would be gone for preparation for nationals.
Okay.
That was my main concern. And then I think everyone was, correct me if I'm wrong, was like, he has to go.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, most teams will be missing a player. I get it's their setter, but...
But that, yeah, that's like a critical piece to miss in training.
Yeah. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. I think you have to take the nod and go and play. And I love how Daichi immediately stepped up, was like, no, you have to go.
Kind of validated Kageyama's desire to go.
Didn't even put him in the position to try and put the team first or put him in that. He just said, no, you're going. And that to me just shows incredible leadership on his part. And it's always a balance between individuals and the team, but he's looking out for the young player and wants him to have that experience. I thought that was really cool.
Personally, I think that is the right choice. Like, Kageyama definitely has shown that he has a very high ceiling and a really big potential in the sport. And I think that looking at Karasuno as a whole, like, he is the one that has proven himself to be the right fit for that right now. I know there's tons of Nishinoya fans out there.
He would have been my second choice though. I think, and again, we haven't seen a lot of liberos from the other teams, like from the Japanese teams. I mean, you have Nakoma's libero, obviously, Yaku. So I don't really know how he stacks up against everybody else.
But he's a third year, so I don't know if he's even eligible anymore.
Yaku?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because these guys are going to be playing in 2 years under 19.
Well, so you always, I mean, I've been part of selection committees like this, and you're always that balance at this age of physical potential, how are they going to look in 2 years, you know, where are they going to go. It's not really about where they are right now.
Not even in 2 years. What is their, like, senior national team potential?
Yeah, 100%. So I'm not surprised that he got picked. He definitely has the IQ and all the pieces to be a setter for a long time with the national team, and I would say Noya would be the other one who would have interesting, they would have talked about him.
Right now.
Right now, yeah. So, anyone you think they missed? Like, do you think Tsukishima gets a look at all?
Right now, no.
Yeah, I would agree. He had one good tournament kind of come into his own. That may have
one match, really.
Right. And so that they might be paying attention to him, but he wouldn't have been in part of the conversation before that, so.
話はもう一つあります。同じく12月の初旬、宮城県内の有望な1年生だけを集めた合宿を行うと、
Ooh, like a regional team?
常禅寺高校の穴原先生から連絡をいただきました。宮城県全体のバレーボールのレベルアップを目的とした取り組みの一つということです。こちらは1年生だけということですが、言ってみれば疑似ユース合宿ですね。
疑似ユース？
うちからも一人お声がかかっています。月島君。すげえ月、県トップの1年だ。
合宿。
月島決勝で大活躍だったもんな。
なんだよ、1年だけなんてずりーよ。
先生、俺はこっちは月島くんだけですね。
春高も近いですし、僕は
頑張ってこいよ、月島。
外で揉まれるチャンスなんてなかなかないぞ、月島。
だいぶ間に合ってます。
では、2人とも参加ということで連絡しておきますね。
Also kudos to Daichi.
おい。先に行くぜ。
影山がユースの合宿行くとこってなんかすげえとこだよね。
東京のナショナルトレーニングセンターでしょ。
そうそう。現役のオリンピック選手もトレーニングしてるとこなんだよね。一回入ってみたいよな。
忍び込んでみれば？
速攻で逮捕じゃん。俺たちは仲良く留守番しような、ひなた。
留守番って言ったってどうせ。
What do you think of Hinata's reaction in the gym?
I'm torn because I'm not surprised because I was just about to say I've gotten to know Hinata.
Buddies. First name basis.
over the year, and he just wants to play at the top. But you also need to be happy for your teammate. He doesn't have to be happy for Kageyama because that's kind of their relationship. But he should have been happy for Tsukishima, and he can want to go. and I get that. He's in a tough spot because when you're making those choices, he doesn't meet the physical criteria of having potential at the next level. And that's not to say he doesn't, but it's a tough spot. I get his disappointment. What?
Nothing. You were probably more gracious than I was in my first watch through. I was like, that is not being a good teammate. It is so awkward. Just like making, just like, I understand what you're saying. I understand what Haikyuu fans say. But it's just like so awkward to like single yourself out in a team setting like that. Like, it's not the place.
And I 100% agree with you. I think because of who he is, and that I think for me, that behavior's not any different than it would be on a normal day with any other like drill or like there's no malintent. He just wants to keep playing, but you also want to support your teammates in that, and he could have done that.
まあね。
東京駅からのルートです。
JR と
影山無事着いたかな。
ルートはタケちゃんが細かく書いて渡してたらしいし、大丈夫じゃないですか。
振り仮名はちゃんと振ったのかな。
え、どうかした？
Did not.
ええ、ひなたはまだ来てないですよね。
ああ、確かにこの時間にいないって珍しい。
He went anyway. That's ballsy. I mean, fake it till you make it. I can't say that's something I would ever do, but there is, I don't know. There is something to be said for just not taking no for an answer.
Why are you so nice? I think that this is like the cringiest thing ever.
It's 100% cringy, but part of you has to acknowledge that he just refuses to take no. He's been told no all his life, and he's always gotten what he's wanted so far by just showing up, by just doing it. And you know what? See, this is the thing. If you're not too embarrassed to walk into the door and be told to get out of the gym by all your other peers, go for it. Worst they can do is tell you, hey, you're not on the list. And the best that can happen is that they feel so bad for you, they let you stay, which is what he wants. I am cringing inside, and I would never on my life walk into a gym that I got cut from. I am too proud, and maybe that's a fault of my own. But part of you kind of has to respect it, and I'm thinking about this from a coaching standpoint. I'd probably let him stay for a session. I would probably look at that kid and go, good for you. Let's go.
Well, Adam, if the Haikyu community didn't love you enough already, you just increased your stock probably with everybody dramatically.
What? I mean, that just seems...
Probably that is exactly what they wanted to hear. Me, I was like, that's messed up. That is selfish. You have a nationals coming up and you're gonna prioritize yourself over training with your team. Like, the first time I watched this, I went after Hinata so hard for this decision and I got ripped.
I actually didn't even consider that he was missing his practice.
They were preparing for nationals.
That kind of changes it for me a little bit, actually. So everything I said stands, and I can get behind his mindset here, but he also didn't tell his team. I didn't put two and two together.
You made a commitment to your team.
Yeah.
And you chose to prioritize your own self-interests over your team. That is my take on it.
That part's tough.
That's my take on it.
I honestly didn't even think about that.
What you said is probably exactly what everybody wanted to hear, and that is fine.
If he didn't tell Ukai what he was doing, that's not cool.
Well, we will find out.
Yeah.
君呼ばれてないよね。
スルーだ。僕は知らない。知らない人です。
That's how I would be acting.
カラスノの10番だろ。え、カラスノ？ああ、あの速攻の。今呼ばれてないのに来たって言うの。バカじゃないの。だって逮捕は困るだろ。は？
He was gonna go to the national team one instead. This is a step down from his plan.
You have to admire just his... I don't even know what the word is.
That is literally the only thing that held him back.
Vocabulary. カラスノのメガネもあんな歌えることあるんだな。は？ひなた、例の1年の強化合宿に乗り込んだらしいです。
Infiltrated is a great word.
シナトリザーにいるって。やるな、そういうの。本当。やってくれる。てめえ、ふざけんじゃねえぞ、ひなた。こら！すません。日向君、一生懸命と無鉄砲は別物ですよ。ごめんなさい。
That was Tanjiro. The desk would be dead.
カラスのよりこっちの練習が大事って思ってるわけじゃないです。でも強いやつが集まる合宿、俺も入りたいです。強いやつが試合以外でどんななのか、どうして強いのか知りたいです。いても立ってもいられない気持ちはわかりますが、勝手が許されるわけではありません。先方にもご迷惑がかかります。すぐに
ボール拾いが一人増えるくらい構わねえよ。
Oh, it's all coming full circle. The Crypt Keeper's in the house.
Crypt Keeper in the
house. There's so many different sides and perspectives to this. I understand why Hinata did it. I understand why Ukai is livid. I get why Nishinoya and Tanaka think it's funny, and why Daichi's angry. But it all.
What about Washijo? What about the Crypt Keeper?
He's gonna let him stay because of their match, and because he wants to see what this kid is like. Because Hinata breaks every stereotype that he believes in, and there's a personal doubt, questioning experience that he's. Here's my prediction: he's gonna put him in all of the worst situations to see what happens, and he's gonna try and break him. What are you thinking?
No, this is just like the most cringy situation I could ever imagine, basically.
That's fair. I mean, showing up where you're not invited, where you didn't make the team, but
Like, I have a hard enough time showing up places where I am invited. I cannot imagine, like, people, let's say even aside from volleyball, like, people made plans, blah, blah, blah. I find out about said plans. I'm not invited, and I just show up there, show up to, like, a birthday dinner that I wasn't invited to. I would rather die. It is just so outside of the realm of everything that I am and everything I believe in. I just cannot.
fair enough. But he wants something. I can admire that part of it.
やっと着いた。カラスの高校配給部。赤俊君倒したとこかよ。イタチ山学院の作佐清美。全国3本指のスパイカーの中で唯一の2年生。こいつを間近で見れる。
You get to set him, my friend.
カラスの高校1年影山飛雄セッターです。よろしくお願いします。 ワクワクしてきた。
呼ばれてないのにすげえよな。
俺一瞬中学生かと思ったよ。ジャージ着てなきゃ分かんなかった。
近くで見ると思ってたよりもっとちっちゃい。 なんだよ、入れればいいじゃねえか。カラスののちび一人くらいボコボコにしてやる。青根さんの認めたやつはやることが違うぜ。正直
All the people who actually played against him.
はい、そちらこそよろしければ。はいはい、それでは失礼します。
大丈夫でしょうか。
鷲城先生はダメならはっきりそう言うよ。ただ
Not far.
Ball 拾いが嫌ならいつでも帰っていいぞ。
想像してるより日向にはしんどいかもしんねえぜ。
Welcome to the big leagues, baby.
I got a little teary eye there.
At which part?
Just the humility. I know I ripped on him for his decision making the whole episode, but the humility that was required to stand in front of all these guys that you
All your
competed
peers.
against and beaten for the most part, and declare yourself to be the ball boy. That part I am respecting.
I got goosebumps when.
Are you crying? Oh my! Just when we least expect it, you guys. Just when we least expect
But
it.
you don't even know at what part.
What part?
When Kageyama's standing on the edge of the national team court, like that feeling for athletes, like not that he's made it, but to work so hard and to like walk into the gym and to see that, it's amazing. It's such an incredible feeling for athletes.
I'm crying because he's crying. You're Oh.
But yes, I will say for Hinata, he wants it so bad and he's willing to do whatever, and I don't agree with the test because that was a test
Yep.
from the coach. And it's humiliating, but he wants to be there. And his reason, the thing I love is that his reason for going is not because he thinks, there's probably part of him that thinks he belongs there and you've won and whatever, and that's fine. But these are the best people of my age. I want to see what they do. What more can you ask for as a coach? Like, I want to see what the best do. I think that's really cool.
And honestly,
I mean, is it cringy? 100%.
it's like you just want to like jump out of your skin. It's so bad. But, and if this was happening at any other time, I could maybe lean more towards that idea. But I just like have like nationals in my brain. And I'm just like, you are sacrificing touches and opportunities for you to get reps to be a ball boy.
Yeah, that part is tough. That's the part that is unagreeable, I would say, and selfish. But yeah, not really the episode I was expecting.
You were talking about the episode, and I just kept looking at the camera like, just wait, just wait. So, what point do you think Washijo's making then?
I think he wanted to see if he was serious. Like, you weren't invited. You showed up here. And from another coach's point of view, I understand what the Washijo coach is. I didn't get that right.
Hello.
Hinata doesn't have the typical potential when you look at volleyball players. He's not particularly skilled. At this point, Kageyama makes use of him in a way that makes him effective. Mm-hmm. But if you set him out to hit high balls or to pass free balls or even to serve, like, he's not a good volleyball player. And he wants to know, what are you willing to do to be here?
Or, see, and I take it like you're very nice and you're an optimist. The pessimist in me looks at that situation and is like, he wants to prove to him that the typical specimen of a volleyball player is the successful one. And I just want to prove to you that you don't belong here.
Maybe.
And I know that I'm a pessimist, so obviously my mind would go that way, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, it was a good first episode.
Oh my gosh. Oh. It was easier to watch it this time than the first time. I think I just literally wanted to drop out of the camera the first time and just like pass away because I was just like, oh no.
Well, there's two things. One is, that is your nightmare. Oh. Like, being somewhere where you don't belong it's your nightmare. And then two, in fairness, you've never been in that position because you're always the first one on the list. You know what I mean? Like, I know how that feels.
What? Really?
I tried out for our junior national team.
Yeah, you got invited, so you tried out. You didn't show up. You didn't fly.
No,
there and
I'm
show
saying
up.
I'm saying I know what it feels like to not make it and to want to be there and to think, what do I have to do to be on the team?
But when you got cut from the junior national team, did it cross your mind to miss your flight, sleep over there, and show up at the practice the next day?
No.
Exactly.
But I'm saying I can empathize with the feeling of being willing to do anything minus showing up uninvited to make a team at a later date. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, little surprise episode, little twist of the storyline that Adam did not anticipate as he's talking about what were you thinking it was going to be? Like,
team
meet
introductions.
the teams, do a banquet. When you were talking about that, I'm like, yes, let's check out this banquet.
Keep going. What else do you think is going to happen?
Go to number 10,000 on the list, and that is what is going to happen. Whew. I know you guys are very opinionated about this episode. I know you have so many thoughts about Hinata's decision making and what it says about him, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure we're going to hear about it. I want to hear about it. So let us know in the comments below. And I know Adam is going to be very interested to see what you guys have to say too, because this is his first time through it. As always though, we would be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Season 4 Haikyuu coming next week. Thanks!